Hello, my name's David Charles, International Psychic Medium. Tonight coming to you from beautiful North Devon in England, and I'm going to do a reading for you entitled Love Spirit Messages for You. Pick a card reading, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 stacks. I'd like you to choose one. It's a timeless reading, which means you can find this reading today, next year or 10 years from now. It makes no difference. You'll find this reading when your spirit guides want you to find it. So, would you like 1, 2, 3 or 4? Do you go by the crystals? Would you like to use your intuition? Phone a friend if you're in England. Anything you like, but pick 1, 2, 3 or 4 for me. No credits, no theme tunes, get straight on with it. So, if you've picked your number, and you can have more than one, you can have 2 or 3 if you want. We'll put 2, 3 and 4 away over there and start with number 1. And I'm going to do a reading for you entitled Spirit Love Messages for you. Following that, we do some oracle cards to see if they back up what I've told you, and then we do some spirit guided magic numbers for you, lucky numbers that could help you strike it rich. So stick around for the lucky numbers at the end. As I always say, if you're gambling with these numbers, do it sensibly, responsibly, don't get hooked on gambling. So stick around for the lucky numbers at the end. There'll be 6 lucky numbers for you to choose from. You can use them all on the lotteries or casinos, whatever. Let's take a look. If you chose number 1, this is for you. Spirit Love Messages for you. Very popular title. I do it quite a lot. And straight away, I'm going to tell you the negatives first. So, we get the negatives out of the way. And then I tell you the lovely juicy stuff and all the secrets and surprises at the end of this part of the reading. The negatives indicate temptation, as depicted by the major arcana. The Devil card, you may see that. And if not, I'm sure you know what it is, a lot of you. It can be a bit scary, but the Devil card, depending on what surrounds it, of course, will normally mean that you're being tempted to do something a bit naughty in the coming weeks and months. And of course, it doesn't mean that you're going to do it. In fact, I usually say to people, if temptation pops up, ignore it and walk away. It appears to come along as if it's tempting us or trying us out somehow, as if the powers of the universe want to see how you react. So if temptation is around you, if you're being tempted to do something you may regret, try to walk away from it. It can also mean, of course, that you're trying or you're tempted to do something or say something that you may regret. So be careful what you're saying, don't hurt anyone's feelings, and don't say anything that you'll regret later because you can't unsay it. You can apologise, but you can't unsay it, so it's gone. This reading has very few negatives. I can see, as far as the spirit world is concerned, that your love life is reaching some kind of crisis point or turning point. This, of course, won't apply to all of you. It's a general reading. Take in what does and ignore what doesn't, or pick one of the other stacks, or 2 of the other stacks. But it appears to me that you're approaching some kind of decision-making process. This means some of you may be married. Some of you may be seeing someone who is married, or some of you may be courting or flirting with someone, and then there's somebody else around as well. This could also be linked to the temptation I mentioned a moment ago. If you reach some kind of turning point, it will mean, number 1, that you have to make some decisions very soon, and usually these decisions will be so important that they could shape you for years to come. So, avoiding temptation, it's important that you make the right decisions. This reading can help you with that, but if you want a proper reading with me, call me on my website, and that's davidcharlespsychic.com. And you can book a reading with me from anywhere in the world on the phone. If I'm not free, one of the team that work for me will help you, and my team are the best. I only employ the best. If they're not good enough, they don't get in my team. So that's davidcharlespsychic.com. I'm picking up a flirtatious person here who comes up in some readings. A person who travels, it could be a man, it could be a lady, but I think it's a man. If you're in a romance with this person, it could be that he's a bit of a flirt, maybe a bit of a womanizer. Doesn't mean he's going to betray you, but he may be sort of keen on the attention from the opposite sex, or from the same sex in some cases. But it could be a lady that's flirtatious, but somebody around you, number 1, and I could be picking up you, of course, likes the attention of the opposite sex. As I said, some of you the same sex, but usually this depicts a man who's a flirt or a womanizer. So this person travels, as I said. Watch out for that. If it's you, then go back to what I said earlier. Don't do anything that you'll regret, or don't say things you'll regret. And if you arrive at a crossroads in your love life, or a junction point, you have to make decisions. Now this junction point, this turning point in your love life, can involve somebody turning up from your past. One or two of your ex-lovers may be in touch, maybe on Facebook or Twitter. You may be contacting or in contact with lots of your ex-lovers if you have lots of them. The message with most readings is don't go backwards, and this one's no exception really. I think your future, number one, is ahead of you, and by the looks of this reading, it's a good future. So going backwards isn't really recommended. It rarely is. I think most of you are quite solid. Some of you also travel. Not going on at the moment in these days of lockdown with the COVID pandemic, but you may be finding that you're traveling once again when the restrictions are lifted. And by the time you watch this, it could be years away from now, so that may not be relevant. But some of you are traveling, and some of you really enjoy traveling. It broadens your horizons. And if you have no plans to travel and something pops up that gives you the chance, then I recommend you take it if you can travel. It doesn't mean you're necessarily going abroad. You may be going to a different state in America or a different part of Australia if you're there. Or in the UK, you may be going to the seaside or somewhere like that. But travel is in the reading, and it's happy travel, and it could be well linked to romance and fortune, good fortune. So travel is a good thing. Now I'm picking up somebody around your earthly life who you have a strong friendly bond with, not a love thing. It's probably someone of the same sex. So if you're a girl, it's going to be a lady. If you're a man, it's going to be a chap. This person is a person you confide in. It could even be your mum or your sister. If you're a chap, it could be your dad or your brother, but somebody's in a reading that you trust implicitly, and it's good to have someone like that, because not everybody does, believe me. You don't meet many true friends in the whole of your life. You meet thousands of acquaintances. But somebody in your reading, if they're not there now, may be coming through from the spirit messages that you can trust and you can confide in with your secrets. It could be somebody linked to your career. Not a certainty, but it could be for some of you. This person is kind but dead straight. They like to be loyal. They like to be there when you want them to be, and they will expect you to be there for them as well. So there's a bond between you. If you weren't good friends, you could even be lovers, that you're very close, or you will be soon. Watch out for that lady or chap, because it could be an important person for you in your decision making as the next few months unfold. Going back to work, this is not a work reading, this is a spirit love messages reading, but I've got to tell you everything, and there may be a job offer in your coming weeks and months. This job offer could well be linked to love and romance, because that's the title of the reading. If you're looking for work, I think you're going to be offered some, which is not the case these days for a lot of people. Obviously, a lot of people are not managing to find work, but you will, number one, most of you, if you're looking for it. I think most of you have some quite unique skills that not everybody else has. One or two of you are quite psychic and becoming more interested in psychic goings on. That's probably why you're watching this. I think your spirit guides have got you to watch this reading because they need to give you some messages. If you've chosen this number, and it could be 3 or 4 years from now, and from all of this lot you've chosen this set of cards, number one, there will be messages in here for you somewhere. It won't all resonate for you, as I said. If in doubt, ring me for a private reading on the phone. You can get me at davidcharlespsychic.com. So, I think most of you are solid, most of you are reliable, most of you are loyal. I don't think you're the type, you may be flirty sometimes, but I don't think you're a deceitful type most of the time anyway, and most of you. Another separate thing from love is that there may be some money coming your way, number one, and you may have a little win. Maybe the lucky numbers I'm going to give you in a few minutes. These are psychically picked lucky numbers with my spirit guides, so don't miss those. You might need a pen. If you have some kind of turning point in your love life, number one, it can mean a brand new lover coming. Now, if that is what you're looking for, then it's a very exciting time, because that's what I think it means for a lot of you. When I say brand new, as I said before, it means someone that is not a person you've loved in the past. It's someone brand new. They could be linked to your work, but not necessarily. A new lover is a very special and exciting phase to go through. So if that's what happens to you, I'm thrilled for you. Please let me know in the comments below. Please comment below so I answer all my comments. So, watch out for temptation. Watch out for some money coming your way. Try to keep it, because you do tend to be too generous sometimes. It may be linked to the lucky numbers I'm about to give you from my spirit guides. And they were chosen by me before I started filming with my spirit guides' help. So let's take a look what we missed out here. I think there are romantic offers in the air. They may not be from people you want them from, so you may say no. If somebody asks you out on a date or wants to take you for dinner, you may say no, but that doesn't matter, change the fact that a new lover is predicted for lots of you. When you pick up a new lover in a reading, it can mean that you're already in love and you're rekindling it and making it new again. And it can also mean that you have two lovers coming and you're going to have to make a decision which one you want. So they all come at once like buses. What I want to do now is, before we do the lucky numbers, I want to take a look at some oracle cards for you and see if they back up what I've been telling you, because these have been shuffled. You have to read these, so I need the bike, my glasses. This one's an earth card. I do 4 of these. And now we have a beautiful tree in golden colour. Is it autumn or is it Photoshop? It could be either. This card says to you, number 1, see your circumstances as a blessing because they offer a chance to grow. So if your circumstances are a bit fraught at the moment, try to see the good side of them. That's what it says here. See your circumstances as a blessing. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, but they offer you a chance to grow. So things are changing, things are growing. As I did say, there may be job offers. Job offers could be linked to new love and romance. Job offers could be linked to temptation as well, so don't fall for temptation. Don't do things you'll regret. Don't say things you'll regret saying. Let's try another one. This one is another earth card. This is someone lying on their back in the forest taking a picture of the trees upwards, I think. Excuse me. This one's saying to you, number 1, time. This comes up a lot, this card. Time in nature will help you to find the answer to your problems. Time in nature. Are you the sort of person that likes to walk out with a dog or out in the country or on the beach? We're not far from the beach here. Sometimes you can hear the sea when it's windy. Beautiful North Devon. If you haven't been to North Devon, give it a visit because it's beautiful. So, number 1, time in nature will help you to find the answer to your problem. I think the spirit guides are saying to you, get away from it a bit. Get away from your stress and strain. If you can get away from the factory or the workplace for an hour or 2, do so. If you have a day off, take advantage of it and get out into nature. If it's bluebell time, go picking bluebells. If it's summertime, stroll in the park or on the beach. But be alone if you can with your thoughts and take time in nature. You can't, if you've got your lover with you, that's fine. But if you don't really want to go with a crowd, if you can help it, when this sort of advice comes. But stay safe, of course. Another earth card, that's unusual to see 3 on the trot. Footsteps in the sand. Beautiful. This one says to you, put your own needs first for a change. And that's what I've just told you, really. And things will become more clear. Shouldn't that be clearer? I'm always picking up the English language here. Put your own needs first for a change, number 1, and things will become clearer. What I said, take some time in nature. Try and go alone if you can, if it's safe to do so, of course. Put your own needs first for a change. It tells me that you're always looking after everybody else and sometimes not looking after yourself, or putting yourself out maybe too much. And it's a lovely thing to do. It's a nice trait to be generous and kind to people, but look after yourself as well, number 1. That's what these oracle cards are saying. And this one, the last one, is an air card. Let's have a look what this says. Oh, I love this one. A man in a blow-up boat with a motor going. I hope he doesn't run out of petrol in the fog. This one says it's safe for you to stop comparing yourself to other people. Have you been comparing yourself to other people? Do you think they're better than you because they're not? It's safe for you to stop comparing yourself to others. I think, number one, that you will know what that means without me telling you. You're as good as anybody else. Don't compare yourself to others or them to you. It's pointless because it won't change a thing, but my readings can. Now then, I'm going to give you some lucky numbers. These lucky numbers were picked by me with my spirit guides and intuition before we started filming today. And there are 6 of them. If you use them for gambling, please be responsible. Don't get us into trouble and don't get yourself hooked on gambling, of course. So if you've got a pen there, if not, you can run it back. These numbers may be familiar. They could be car number plates you've had, addresses you lived at, wedding anniversaries, divorce anniversaries, birthdays. They may not mean anything to you at all, but they are magic numbers. They could change your life, so stick with me. The first number for you is number 3, then number 4, 14, 28, 29 and 30. Do they mean anything to you, number 1? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you hit the jackpot with these numbers. I'll give them you one more time. These could help, really they can. They've been proven to work. Number 3, 14, sorry, number 3, number 4, 14, 28, 29 and 30. They may not work straight away, but keep at it because I give you numbers at the end of all my readings now. So subscribe below. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. You could be one of our family. And every time I get a subscription, it helps me to produce more videos like this. So please subscribe. Click the like button if you like this. And good luck with the lucky numbers. What else do I have to share with your friends? And let me know if you hit the jackpot. Please comment below because I answer all of my comments. And it's lovely to hear from you, especially if you enjoy all this and if you become a part of our family, subscribe. Remember, number 1, as I get ready for number 2, remember, think lucky and you will be lucky. Think love and you will be loved. And I love every single one of you. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Hello again. If you chose number 2, this one is for you. It's called Spirit Love Messages for You, or Love Spirit Messages for You. Pick a card reading. It's a timeless reading, which means it doesn't matter when you find it. You can find it today, next year, 10 years from now. It doesn't make any difference. You'll find this reading when your spirit guides want you to find it. And if you found this reading today, number 2, and chose these cards from all of this lot, there will be messages in here for you somewhere. So stick around with me. Put that over there. And we're going to do the spirit messages for you, love messages. And then I'm going to do some oracle cards for you to see if they back up what I tell you. And then the best bit, there's some lucky numbers at the end. Magic spirit guided numbers that were picked for me, picked by me with my spirit guides before we started filming today. And these numbers could change your life. You could hit the jackpot. There's 6 of them and they're coming up at the end. Stick with me, please. So, a pick a card reading, a timeless reading entitled Spirit Love Messages for You, or your Spirit Love Messages. And I'm going to tell you the negatives first, as I always do. Get rid of the negatives, get them out of the way, and then we do the lovely positives and surprises at the end, the love stuff and the lovey-dovey stuff, if there is any, and there will be some. First of all, let me tell you the negatives, and there are signs of stress and possible upset. So you may have already been going through this, number 2. Have you been going through an upsetting time? Nothing, I don't think it's a big thing for most of you. Of course, this won't resonate with all of you. So take in what does and ignore what doesn't, or pick a different deck. You can have more than one, you can have 2 or 3. Expect some turbulence coming up. Maybe possible upset. It can be as simple as moving house or changing your job. That can be turbulent, it can be upsetting. But these messages of turbulence from the spirit world nearly always are there because they're needed to remove all the rubbish. So if you go through a turbulent time in the coming weeks and months, grin and bear it, because you may look at it later and think, well, I'm glad it happened, thank God for that. Or it may seem awful at the time. There may be somebody around you, number two, that you can't really trust, and I'm pretty sure you'll know who that is. It will be linked to your love and your romantic life, and possibly your earthly life as well, the workplace, that sort of thing. So watch out who you trust, because I think you've been let down before. Most of us have, I know, but I think you're still reeling from this, maybe quite recently, that somebody around that is not all they seem. And there is also, well, there are also signs of jealousy in this reading. People being unpleasant to you when you're not around, or unpleasant about you when you're not around. Don't be paranoid about that. As I keep repeating, it won't apply to all of you. But if you feel there could be skullduggery going on, I love that word, skullduggery going on in the background, then just avoid those people, or don't tell them any of your business. We'll get to the good stuff in a minute, I promise you. It's not all bad, it's very good. One of the nice, we're going to get to the good stuff now actually. You've got a bit of stress, but that's common in these readings. I think your stress levels are about 7 out of 10, number two, and I wouldn't worry too much, because there are signs when we get to the good stuff that those stress levels are going down. So you should find that things improve, especially around your love life. There's good stuff here about your love life. I don't really see a soulmate connection, but they are quite rare. Everyone thinks they're with a soulmate, but I could be wrong. It may be so obvious that the spirits are not telling you. Sometimes the spirits, well, usually the spirits will tell you things you don't already know. So if you already know you're with your soulmate, it won't be in the reading because you're already aware of it. But to me, one of the nicest things about your reading, number two, is that you're quite spiritual. Number one had it to a certain extent, but yours is very strong. And I believe that you are spiritual. Some of you are mediums. Some of you out there are quite psychic. And you'll know who you are. And I think some of you have healing abilities. They usually go together. If you've got psychic ability, you'll almost certainly have healing ability, because you'll be that kind of person. You'll be a kind, caring, a person that wants to heal people, not necessarily physically, but maybe up there, make them feel calmer, make them feel less stressed, make them feel good. But of course that can increase your own stress levels, so watch it. There is, at this moment, as we speak now, number two, a spirit guide with you, most of you. And I always say you could be at work, you could be sitting in the park having a picnic, you could be taking a bath. There's a spirit guide with you right now, trust me. And I think for most of you, it's a man who passed quite late in life. I wouldn't say he was too young. He's there with you now. It could be a lady for some of you, but there's a spirit guide with almost 100% certainty with lots of you out there, number two. So I'm glad you called me, or glad you watched this, because I think you've been called to me by the spirits to watch this reading tonight. And I hope you'll subscribe and make some comments below, because this is important. The comments below that mean a lot to me, because I like your opinion on this, because it's important, because you have so much going on. You have 3 separate messages about spirituality here. You're guided by the stars at the moment, not the stars in the newspapers or the showbiz stars, the real stars up there. Some of you may know a lot about the stars. I'm on about Mars and Jupiter and all that, not the stars as in Pisces and Aries and all that stuff. You're guided by the stars and the planets. You're guided by your spirits right now. You're having intuitive and psychic dreams coming up. This is very big. It's the biggest I've seen for a while. So, if number two, you don't believe all this, then think again, because I believe you're quite psychic and you may be putting it all down to coincidences. And you may think of someone you haven't seen for years and then they pop up or they turn up. The next day, there they are. Or the phone rings and it's them. These can be premonitions, and then you always put them down as coincidences. And they say there's no such thing as coincidence. Maybe that's true. What do you think? Tell me below. So after the certain amount of upset or turbulence, things are going to get really good. Your spirit guides are there, so speak to them. Always speak to your spirit guides. Just because they can't answer audibly. They can hear you, and it's frustrating for them if you don't speak to them. They're picking out for me to tell you a few things about your work. This is not a work-related reading, but it's going to turn out a little bit that way because I've got to tell you everything. And as far as the spirit world are concerned, your career situation is on the up, number 2. You've got promotion coming, possibly, some of you. If you're in business, then it's improving. You just can't help it at the moment. It seems to be getting better and better. And of course, it's going to make you busier, so you might have to work harder. But be careful who you trust. If they're around your workplace particularly, and watch out for jealousy and a bit of naughtiness. And as I said, skullduggery, my wife's favourite word today. Watch out for that because it's around you. And I think most of you know where it's coming from and you know where it's going to. So watch out for that. Follow your dreams. Write down your dreams. Keep a notepad by the bed. Write down your dreams, especially for the next week or 2, or maybe 3 or 4. Particularly, as I say so often in these readings, if your dreams are repetitive. If your dreams are repetitive, then the spirit world are keeping on repeating them because they're trying to get messages through and you're not getting it, so they keep repeating it. So repetitive dreams, particularly in your case, number 2, will be revealing secrets about your future, not anyone else's, yours. So write them down, even if they're jumbled up and they don't mean much, write them down. You may have dreams when you're doing your day-to-day, you may be washing the dishes or watching TV, and daydreams will pop up. Write them down. And the days pass by, as time goes by, the meanings, even if they're jumbled up in a mess, the meanings sometimes pop up into your head and you realise, now I know what that dream meant. And it's so revealing and it's so special. And it'll go with all of your psychic gifts. It'll go with your spirit love messages, because there are love messages here. Let me get to those now. I believe that your love life is linked. This is quite unusual actually. I believe, number 2, that your love life is linked to your spirituality. So it's possible that you're with someone who's quite spiritual, or that you're about to meet someone like that. I think the spirit world are putting you on course to meet each other and to lock together and to become soulmates, and that is very unusual. I say it so often. Everybody thinks they're with their soulmate, and not many people really are. But in your case, number 2, either you're with now or you're set to meet your soulmate. Now, when these meetings come to fruition, they are not on Facebook, they are not on dating agencies, they are spirit guided and they're coming to you naturally. So if you meet someone on the internet or a dating site, forget it. That's not what you have to. This is not what's predicted. You're going to meet someone through natural means. The spirit world are planning this for you. So don't chat somebody up on internet, on Facebook or any of those things, or Twitter or whatever they are, because you could spend 10 years going the wrong way with the wrong person. So I believe, number 2, a new person is coming. If you haven't already been together, you could be married to this person already. But I believe that the spirit world are saying to me that your new partner, or the one you're with, is spiritual like you are, and it may be that neither of you realise it. And what a magical thing to dawn on you that you have these gifts, because they're good and you can help people with them. You could start doing helping, healing or something like that to people, and learn Reiki or one of the healing therapies, healing arts I should say. Let me see what else I can see here. As I said, you've been let down in the past, and I'm aware that you are defensive. So if there's turbulence going on, remember, you heard it here, the turbulence won't last long, so put up with it. I hope you'll stick around for your lucky number, because these could change your life. You could hit the jackpot. And as I say all the time, don't gamble irresponsibly. If you're gambling with these numbers, don't get us into trouble or yourself. But these lucky numbers were chosen by me with my spirit guides before we started filming today. So, the positives are there. Love is yours or love is coming. That is pretty much a certainty. And when love comes in the real form, real true love, it is one of the most wonderful things. So cherish it, don't lose it. Please don't lose it. Tell me below if it makes sense to you. And please subscribe, become one of our family, and thank you already if you already subscribed. I do appreciate that. Every subscriber helps me do these videos, and the more I can do, the more I like it, because I enjoy doing them for you from all over the world, here in Devon, and your people, my people, are all over the world. Now, I want to take a look at some oracle cards and see if they back up what I've said to you now, before we do your 6 magic spirit guided looking numbers. Stick around for those, because they could change your life. And some of you need a run of luck, I know that. So the first one is a water card. These have been shuffled, by the way. No idea what's coming up. This one looks like, I always say it looks like a tree photographed through a glass window in the autumn. This card is saying to you, number 2, missing out on an opportunity, open your eyes to the possibilities. Are you missing out on an opportunity? You'll know what this means. I'm sure some of you know what this means. Are you missing out on opportunity, number 2, sorry. Missing out on opportunity, open your eyes to the possibilities. So something may be staring you right in the face, and you're searching for something, and it may be that it's right there in front of you. As the song says, back in your own backyard. Everything you've got, everything you want, you've already got, some of you. So you may not be missing out on opportunities, and if you are, it may be that it's staring you in the face and you're not seeing it. So open your eyes to the possibilities. This one here now is an air card, a circle of clouds and a blue sky. What do you think? Photoshop? Got a chance. I'm a free advert for Photoshop, you notice. Right, this says to you, what you are feeling isn't fear, it's excitement, so embrace it. Are you feeling anxious? Number 2, it's not fear. This card is saying what you're feeling isn't fear, it's excitement. Embrace it. So you may be feeling excited about your own spirituality and the fact that you've got it, and some of you didn't realize you had. The fact, and it is a fact for most of you, you're going to meet someone who's in the same, what's the word, it has the same interest, and you may already be together. Tell me if you are below. And what you're feeling isn't fear, it's excitement. Embrace the feeling of excitement. It's an exciting time, number 2, and I really mean that. This one appears to be a water card. Somebody's been surfing with a camera. How do you go surfing with a camera? Look at that. Fantastic. I do know how to do it, but it's not easy. I'd have to wear water wings to take that shot. The deep blue sea washes away your cares and concerns. This tells me that if you are near the sea, then go paddle in the sea, swim in the sea, make sure you're safe, go surfing. But it doesn't just mean that. It means if you're in the middle of London and nowhere near the sea, you can always lay on the couch in the afternoon, close your eyes, have a peaceful moment, and imagine you're on the beach, or imagine you're near the sea, and try and hear it. You can buy tapes of the sea sounds, of course, and hear the seagulls, but it will do you good. If you can't get to the beach and the sea, picture it and make yourself be there. Astro project if you want. So the deep blue sea washes away your cares and concern. Your cares and your worries are washed away like the tide going out, ebbing and flowing. It takes away your cares and your worries. Number 2. Stop worrying. Let's try another one. Last one. Then the lucky numbers. A water card. Same on the back and the front. Look, how about that? It's that beautiful lady who looks almost like, well, angelic really, with the lilies behind her on the water. Things not turning out how you'd hoped? That's the question. Try to see the positives in the situation. We had a similar message for number 1. If things are not turning out how you hoped, try to see the positives. So, it's a bit like the last card there. What you have here, number 2, tells me that you may already have things that you're looking for. You're searching for something, and you've already got them. This is not unusual in these readings. That people you sort of wake up in the morning and think, is this it? Is that it? Or you look in the mirror and think, there's something missing, and there isn't anything missing at all. I often say when something's missing from a reading, or from your feelings, it's often love that's missing. But this reading particularly says you're either in love with someone very soulmate-ish, very special, or you're about to meet them. It's a very exciting reading. I'm pleased with that one. I love doing readings when they're positive. I love doing readings anyway. And please subscribe, give me a like if you like it, and make some comments below, and I'll answer all of them. If you want a reading with me on the phone from anywhere in the world, go to davidcharlespsychic.com and you can book me on there from anywhere on the planet, and I'll read for you on the phone. And if I'm not available, one of the team that work for me will help you, and I only employ the best. So if they're not good, they're not in my team. And that's davidcharlespsychic.com. Let's give you some lucky numbers. Now, these lucky numbers, number 2, may be familiar. They could be birthdays, they could be wedding days, anniversaries, addresses you've lived at. They may mean nothing at all to you, but they are important. These numbers have been proven to work. You could hit the jackpot, number 2. As I repeatedly repeat, if you're gambling, do it responsibly. Don't get into trouble or get me into trouble. Here are your lucky numbers. If you've got a pen, write them down. If not, you can run the tape back. And I'm going to give you lucky numbers after all of my readings in future. And they're spirit guided by me with my spirit guides before we started filming. And you have number 13, 17, 26, 31, can't read my own writing here, 40 and 49. Do they mean anything to you? Do any of them mean anything to you? I often get comments where they say they do. If you don't want to comment below, you can email me on my website, davidcharlespsychic.com, and it's private. So I'll give you them again, number 2, and I keep saying number 2, maybe that's a lucky number 2, but I'll give you the ones I chose earlier with my spirit guides. It's 13, 17, 26, 31, 40, and 49. Good for lotteries, casinos, all that kind of thing. You can just do a couple of them. You don't have to use all 6. Just pick 2 or 3 that you like. And you can always have a different deck of cards. Pick a different stack. So it's been so lovely reading for you here in beautiful North Devon in England, in the UK. Not far from the beach and the beaches and the cliffs and the rocks. If you haven't been to Devon in the UK, do come along, you'll love it. And the Devon people are so lovely. They'll welcome you with open arms. And I'm going to get ready for number 3 now, number 2. So thank you for joining me. Please subscribe, and remember, think lucky and you will be lucky. Think love and you'll be loved. And of course, I love every one of you. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Hello again. If you chose number 3, this one is for you. This is called Spirit Love Messages for you, or Love Messages from Spirit for you. It's a pick a card reading. It's a timeless reading, which means that you'll find it when your spirit guides want you to find it. It could be today, it could be next year, it could be 10 years from now. You'll find this reading, number 3, when your spirit guides want you to find it. So if you've chosen this stack of cards, and chosen these cards from all of these hundreds here, there will be a message in here for you somewhere, number 3, at least one. What I do is tell you the negatives first, get them out of the way, then we do all the lovely stuff at the end. These are love messages from Spirit that they want you to know. That's why you're watching this. Stick with me, because after the reading we do some oracle cards to find out if they match what I've been telling you, and then the most important part, your magic spirit guided lucky numbers. There'll be 6 lucky numbers for you at the end of this that could change your life forever. You could hit the jackpot. These numbers are given to you now. I give you new numbers after every reading that I do. So stay with me for the lucky numbers. They could change your life for the better, and they have been proven to work. So, the negatives first. Spirit love messages for you. Are you looking for messages from Spirit? In this pick a card reading, this timeless reading, and you chose number 3, is the negatives first, and there is confusion in the air around your love life. Confusion, number 3, can mean people at cross purposes, people bickering, people arguing over silly things that really you could do without. It can also mean that people are bickering and arguing about you because they don't approve. It could be family members, it could be mother-in-law or future mother-in-law doesn't like you, or your mother doesn't like him, or the other way around. It can be religious differences. It can be all kinds of things. Ex-wives interfering, causing arguments, bickering, and people being confused, not knowing where they are, people at cross purposes, all of that is shown as negative. But it's not negative that's insurmountable, because you are going to get through it. You're good at that. Number 3, you will overcome it. Trust me, because the reading is good at the end. So I know that you will. For the moment, expect around your love life, expect the unexpected, because anything can happen. And a lot of you will be smiling, thinking, I know that, it's true. Comment below, I'd love to know, please. I'll answer all my comments down there if you'd like to do that. If you want to comment privately, go to my website and email me. That's davidcharlespsychic.com. You can email me privately. There are signs here. Number 3 of paperwork comes up in lots of readings, especially love readings, because they can, of course, mean divorces, and they can mean marriages, birth certificates, paperwork, official legal documents. It can also mean court orders, or getting rid of court orders, hopefully. It can mean parking tickets or dealing with credit agreements, mortgage papers. But you may find legal documents around you, and it's very common in these readings. So that may not be negative, it could be positive. If it's a wedding, it's positive, of course. If it's having a baby, it's positive. But sometimes legal stuff can be speed tickets off the police or something like that. So watch out for legal stuff. The biggest problem with this reading, I believe, is stress. Your stress levels are too high, 8 or 9 out of 10. I think number 2 had high stress levels, but not like this. Your stress levels, number 3, a lot of you, this won't apply to all of you, take in what does and ignore what doesn't. But a lot of you are stressed, and a lot of you, number 3, are not looking after yourselves. Is it time for a break? Of course, we're filming this now. Well, I'm filming this now in the middle of the COVID pandemic, so let's hope you're watching this somewhere safe, or maybe it's a year or 2 from now and that's all finished. Hopefully one day it will be. Well, it will be. So your message from Spirit regarding your love life is to take care of yourself. So is your love life, number 3, making you fraught or tense or anxious or stressed? If it is, you've got to take it easy. So maybe let it cool off a bit, because it's taking its toll upon you, and your stress levels are through the roof. You're not sleeping well. Some of you are not eating properly. Some of you are overeating. Some of you are smoking. Some of you are doing worse than that. Some of you are taking the odd Caribbean woodbine, or what they call cannabis. Some of you are drinking. If you are doing any of those things, cut it out, please, because the spirit guides are obviously worried about you. And that's why they've got you to watch this reading. So cut it out. It's not all negative. There's some brilliant stuff coming up. Trust me, wait and see. So your stress levels are too high. You've got to take care of yourself, number 3. If the spirit guides tell you that, you need to listen, because obviously they are concerned. So chill out. Be like the Fonz. Whoa, and cool down. Stay calm. Remember the Fonz? Or am I giving my age away? Expect confusion. Expect the unexpected around your love life. That's what Spirit is saying to me. So it's not a straightforward reading, because you're expecting the unexpected. Now the positives are that some of you are expecting a baby. Again, very common in readings. I think lots of people have readings because they're having babies. Some of you are pregnant, number 3, and some of you have a partner who's pregnant, and if they're not, then they're going to be very soon. So if you're trying for a baby, it's time to celebrate soon, because you'll be having the patter of tiny feet adding to your blissful life soon. And this will be a blissful life, because it's a positive reading. I believe that as far as your love life goes, number 3, you're heading for a very lucky period. When you've got rid of all this negativity that I mentioned, bickering, family interference, could be friends at work interfering. It's not always family. It could be the ex-wife interfering. It could be the ex-husband. It could be someone that you're estranged from, or they're split from. But there's interference and arguments around you, and they're linked to your love life, number 3. A lot of you, not all of you. So let's take a look at this. This is the Major Arcana's Wheel of Fortune. This card, depending on what it's with, depicts a run of good fortune. And this reading is a love reading. So that means It's good fortune in your love life. So things are picking up, trust me, for most of you. Remember, the lucky numbers will help, so stay around for them. They could change your life forever. You could strike it rich. So if you can take it easy, avoid negative legal stuff. I think most of the legal stuff in this reading is positive. As I said, it could be wedding certificates, it could be a new driving license, it could be anything. But look, watch out for paperwork. If you're signing things, number 3, make sure you read it first. If you can't read it all, if it's 10 pages long, and they do that on purpose, I'm sure, make sure you get the gist of what you're signing, if you can. Now, a separate item here, number 3, is that some of you have a secret admirer, and we're getting close to Valentine's Day when I film this. You may be watching this in December, but as I film this today, we're getting close to St. Valentine's Day. So you may have a secret admirer who hasn't yet revealed himself or herself. Somebody fancies you, number 3, and if you're pregnant, maybe you're not showing yet, but there's certainly an admirer in this reading. It may be your boyfriend's friend, and you may know about it. You may know that Johnny, whoever it is, his friend, when he pops round, quite fancies you. It's nice, it's flattering, but I don't think it's going anywhere. And in fact, some of these secret admirers might not even reveal themselves, but they're there. So there's a pregnancy for a lot of you, not all of you. There is high fertility, which can mean growth in other areas, like growth in your job, growth in your romance, things picking up, as I mentioned over and over again. You're heading for a very lucky period. Now, there is a but. There's always a but. When the spirit world predict good fortune, it's not necessarily automatic. It often comes in the form of offers and opportunities. So you need to spot it, otherwise you could miss it. And it could go straight past, and you'll be on the phone to me saying, I didn't have that good fortune. And you'll comment below that you didn't have it. So I don't want you to do that. So don't miss it. If something comes along and you think, this is it, it's going to change my life, then take a chance. Don't be reckless, don't be daft, but take a chance and your luck will improve, especially your luck with romance, because a lot of you, number 3, haven't had much luck with romance. A lot of you have been hurt in the past. I know we can say that about most people, but you can take it from me. Trust me that a lot of you, number 3, have been hurt badly in the past, and that's going to change. What you don't need right now is outsiders causing trouble. Now, sometimes they do this without your knowledge. So just try and be aware. Is anybody winding things up in the background? Family members, people at work, people down the pub, people on the golf course? Is somebody stirring it up in the background? They may not mean to be nasty, but it sounds to me as though they are being a bit like that. And they should include themselves out, really. Keep the nose out and mind their own business, because your love life, number 3, is on the up. Trust me. Comment below and please subscribe. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. You can be one of my lovely family, and if you're already subscribed, thank you so much, because it means so much. Every subscriber helps me make more videos, so I can keep doing this hopefully for a while yet, for a long time yet, I hope. But please subscribe, give me a like if you like it, one of them things. Tell your friends about me, share me on social media. And remember, number 3, your luck's changing. You're going to get some lucky numbers in a minute that could really change your life for the better, so stick with me. Before that, I'm going to check the oracle cards and see if they agree with what I've told you, because the oracle cards are printed, so I can't argue with them. Need the glasses for this. And I'm going to do 4 of these, and the first one is a fire card. Let's have a look what this is. It looks like the desert to me. I never quite make that one out. Is it the desert, or is it overlooking the sea? Somewhere like the Red Sea or something. Some of them have been building a stone castle, look. It's a long way to go for a photograph like that, isn't it? This one says to you, let go of the past. Embrace the light and joy of the new day. This is agreeing with what I said. Embrace the light and joy of a new day. The light is love, remember. Let go of the past. Embrace the light and love and joy of a new day. Interesting number 3. Very interesting. There's more to this reading than meets the eye. There's undercurrents here of goings on that even I am struggling to work out what they are, but I know they're good. I'm getting messages here through this reading, number 3, that are quite uncanny. I'm getting messages here, number 3, that you're going, a lot of you, to enter a very, very special period. And it's coming soon, within weeks, maybe a month or 2. Watch out for it. Let me know below in the comments. There's something going on here. There's a magical feeling to this reading, and I'm not just saying that, there really is. And it doesn't, you get it now and again, but it's not very common. There's undercurrents of spirituality here that are very, very strong. That often happens when the person I'm reading for is quite psychic, but that's not necessarily the case. But there's magic in the air, number 3. I think some of you know what it is. I think you know what it is. Let me know in the comments. Or email me on davidcharlespsychic.com. You can book a reading with me on there. If I'm not free, one of my team that work for me will read for you, and they're good because I only employ the best. And if they're not good, they don't get in my team. And that's davidcharlespsychic.com. Let's try some oracle card, the next oracle card, sorry. Before I get carried away with this magic, there's magic in this reading. This one's an air card. Again, tingly reading this. Strange feelings, lovely. The divine is guiding you in your dreams. Are you listening? There's some clouds over like a meadow of grassy hay. The divine is guiding you in your dreams. Are you listening? This happened to one of the others earlier, number 2, I think. It means that you're having psychic dreams. Are you taking notice of your dreams? I always say, are they repetitive? If they are, they may be the spirits are giving you dreams as messages and you're not getting it, so they keep repeating them. So write down your dreams, especially if they're repetitive. It's not just dreams when you're sleeping, it's daydreams as well. They are important. This magic reading is giving me tingling, which is so... It's given me a very special feeling, number 3. Some of you, not all of you, are heading for a very special time. Please let me know in the comments. Please subscribe as well. Join our lovely family from all over the world. Let's try another one. An earth card this time. Well, that's an unusual one. This one doesn't come out very often. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like an entrance to a cave in the sea. An underground sea lagoon, is it? Drop your mask and trust what happened. Drop your mask and trust that what happens will help you move forward. Are you wearing a mask? Now, I don't mean a COVID mask. Are you wearing some kind of mask that prevents people from seeing the real you? That's usually a defense mechanism, if you are. It's a Freudian thing. If you're wearing a mask, get rid of it. Let people see the real you. Don't be frightened of that. You're a special person. Everyone's special. You are no exception, number 3. Don't wear a mask. That's what they're saying to you. Drop the mask. Drop the artificial you. Let people see what you really are and how good you really are. Drop the mask and trust what happens will help you to move forward, number 3. Somebody, one of you or some of you may tell me why this reading is so magical. I think you already know. One more oracle card, then the lucky numbers. This is an earth card. Oh, I love that one. It's one of my favourites. Some blossom, and spring's coming as I do this reading today, but you may be watching it as the winter approaches. Doesn't matter when you watch this, it's a timeless reading. You'll watch this reading, hopefully, when your spirit guides want you to find it. And you found it, as I said, amongst all these hundreds of cards. So there's a message in here for you somewhere, number 3, or maybe more. This one says, the harder you climb, the better the view at the end. I always pick on that English literature, because I think English. It should say the harder you climb, the higher you climb, the better the view, but it says the harder you climb, so we'll go with that. The better the view is at the end. Your reward is coming. Make no mistake about it, this reading is full of positives. Every card, every thought I get, every message I get is positive. The harder you climb, the better the view at the end. Your reward is coming, number 3. There's something very special about this one, and I can't necessarily put my finger on it, but it will come to me. Now we're going to give you some lucky numbers. These are magic, spirit-guided numbers given to me, worked out with me before we started filming today with my spirit guides. These numbers could help you win the jackpot, really. You don't need to use all 6. You can put a couple on a lottery, you can put a couple on a casino roulette wheel, but you must gamble responsibly or you will get me into trouble, and I don't want you getting into trouble yourself. So don't gamble more than you normally do. Got a pen? These numbers may be familiar. You could find that they're like birthdays or anniversaries or wedding dates or car number plates you've had or addresses. They may mean nothing to you at all, but they will be special. And I'm giving readings, new lucky numbers after every reading now, so please subscribe because you may hit the jackpot. Your first number is number 9, then 11 and 12, 27, 32 and 42. They mean anything to you? Do you recognize any of these? Not all 6, you don't have to use all 6. And you can have more than one stack of cards, by the way, of course. You can pick 2 or 3. So I'll give you those numbers again, and they are number 9, 11, 12, 27, 32 and 42. As I said, I've got to keep repeating, if you're gambling, do it responsibly. Don't change your normal habits. You shouldn't need to gamble much with these because they could help you hit the jackpot fast. Let me know below. Please comment below. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. You could be one of our family. Thank you to all my subscribers. You mean so much to me. And before I go on to number 3, remember, think lucky and you will be lucky. Think love and you will be loved. And I love every single one of you. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Hello again. If you chose number 4, this one is for you. A timeless reading, a pick a card reading entitled Spirit Love Messages for you, or your Spirit Love Messages. These are messages from Spirit that they want you to hear. It's a timeless reading, it's a pick a card reading, and this reading you'll find when your spirit guides want you to find it. So you could find it today, next year, or 5 or 10 years from now. It makes no difference. You'll find this reading when your spirit guides want you to, and you've chosen number 4 from all of these hundreds of cards. You pick these, so there will be a meaning in here for you somewhere, number 4. So remember, at the end of this, I'm going to give you 6 magic spirit guided lucky numbers, chosen by me with my spirit guides before I started filming today. Stick around because they could change your life. You could hit the jackpot. Remember, as I keep saying, if you're going to gamble with these lucky numbers, gamble responsibly. Don't get us into trouble. Don't get yourself into trouble. Stick around for the lucky numbers. They are very, very special and they could change your life. Now then, I'm going to do this pick a card reading. Spirit love messages for you. What do you want to know from Spirit? What does Spirit want you to know? Then I'm going to do some oracle cards and see if they back up what I've told you. And then the lucky numbers. You may need a pen, but you don't need a pen. You can run the tape back. So let's tell you the negatives first. I always tell you the negatives first. Get them out of the way. Then we do the positives. So stay around for the good stuff, the love stuff, the romantic stuff, the surprises towards the end of this part of the reading. First of all, the reading negatives indicate a woman around you who is naughty, nasty and spiteful. It could be a man if you're a chap, it could be a bloke. This has come up in other readings recently and it appears to happen quite a lot these days. There seems to be an element of jealousy around. Somebody could be quite spiteful. Now, this won't apply to all of you, so don't panic. Take in what does and ignore what doesn't. But I'm going to tell you the positives in a minute, so stay with me. The negatives indicate negative habits, and the spirit world are asking you, number 4, to get rid of negatives, to remove them. And this, I think it came up earlier, similar, but if the spirit world want you to remove negatives, you need to listen. Because if you don't do it, you may be forced into it, and that wouldn't be nice. So remove negatives such as smoking, if you can, drinking excessively, eating the wrong foods, eating too many foods, eating not enough food. You need to remove negatives. Now, specifically, this also means probably mostly, it means remove negative people. So if you're mixing with negative people, as so often happens in these readings, you need to free yourself of them if you can, because they can bring your moods down. It does happen a lot in these readings, but to me, the reading messages from Spirit for you are that you're making life harder than it should be, especially when it comes to romance. You're doing everything the hard way. Perhaps there's distance between you and your lover. Perhaps there's hundreds of miles. Or perhaps you're making it harder than it should be for other reasons. Perhaps you're being too defensive maybe, or maybe they are being too defensive. And what should be a simple romance sometimes can turn out to be hard work. Is that how it feels, number 4? Comment below, let me know. I'll be very interested to find out. I think a lot of it is hard work for you, and to make matters slightly concerning, there is a loss in the reading, so it can mean sometimes that you're losing each other, but it can also mean losing a valuable possession, or a credit card, or a purse, or a wallet, or your handbag. You call them purse in America, I think. But it means be careful with losses. Now, losses can be set aside because I'm going to give you some lucky numbers, so that may help you to gain rather than lose. But remove negatives. Excuse me for that. Avoid negative people if you can. It appears to me that I don't think you've had an easy life, number 4, some of you. I think some of you have been right through the mill. I think some of you had a terrible time when you were younger. Some of you have had a pretty rough time recently as well. Now, like all readings, or nearly all readings, karma is indicated, which means the negatives you had in the past, all the awful stuff you put up with, is about to be paid back to you, so that's the good news. Any bad stuff you've had, any sacrifices you've made, you're going to get rewarded for it in the coming weeks and months. Trust me, this will happen. At the moment, you're not seeing the wood for the trees. You're pushing water uphill, getting nowhere fast, some of you, and it's time to stop it. There is good news coming, trust me. As far as your love life goes, wait for it, because there's some fantastic stuff here. So let's go through the negatives again before we do the good stuff. Open your eyes to problems. Stop ignoring problems. If they're there, deal with them. Otherwise, you're making your romantic life harder than it should be. Trust me, it doesn't need to be hard at the moment. Think about it. I think if you consider what I'm saying, you'll realise that your love life, it may be stubbornness on your part, or his part, or her part. Something is making it harder than it should be, and it's just a matter of twigging what it is, realising what it is, and thinking, no, that was it. We don't need that, and we can make it easier for ourselves. And then you'll find such a change, because it'll be like being reborn in your love life. So watch out for negative, nasty people, spiteful people. There could be 1 or 2 of them around you. You may have had them before in the past as well, number 4. Sometimes you can't avoid them. It can be family, it can be in-laws, it can be relatives, it can be religious problems. Different religions, different castes and all that sort of thing that can cause problems, and it interferes with your love life. And really, I wish that people would keep their nose out, because if you're in love, you're in love. Don't matter what religion you are. But that's my opinion. I could get into trouble for that. But I think if you love someone, you can't really help it. You can't stop it. You're in love with somebody. There's good news coming. Let's tell you the good news. Excuse me, I'm itching. There's good news coming about your love life. There is news of a pregnancy, which happened in, I think, number 2's reading. It may not be you, but it could be close. However, number 4, it could be you if you're a girl of that age and that temptation, or that planning. You may be planning to get pregnant. There is a pregnancy in this reading soon. The spirit world are telling me somebody may already be pregnant, but there could be more than one. There could be a couple, maybe even 3 people pregnant in this reading. They're very common. You know, we do a lot of readings. A lot of these readings are watched by ladies, so pregnancies are big in these readings, so it's not unusual to see it. I think watch out for losses. Keep your valuables safe. Keep your doors locked. Don't lend people money, for goodness sake. Don't gamble excessively, even though you're going to get some magic numbers in a few minutes. Watch out for nasty people who are out to get you. There could be someone really bad, and it could be a relative, or it could be someone at work. And if they do exist, I think you'll have a good idea who they are. Not all of you. You may think that doesn't apply to me, and it won't apply to all of you. So please remember, take in what feels right, ignore the rest, or take a different stack. Pick a different stack. Let me tell you the positives. I think all the work you've done in the past is paying back. If you've had negative romances, it's time you had a good one, and I think you're going to. But the big news here in this reading is that you're, I believe, heading into a very, very lovey, passionate time. If you haven't already reached it, you're about to. For some of you, number 4, this will mean a brand new lover. I mean brand new. Doesn't matter if you're 70 years old or 16. You shouldn't be watching this if you're too young, by the way. If you're 20 then, I think a brand new lover is predicted. And I mean brand new. It's not someone from the past. And this reading, the messages from Spirit, your love messages from Spirit, or Spirit love messages, indicate to me that you're going to be blown over by love. You're going to be like a schoolgirl with a crush, or a schoolboy with a crush. You're going to be so in love, it's unreal. Some of you, remember. And some of you may already have this feeling coming. Some of you may have met someone new. If this is not a new lover, then this has happened again tonight before. It can mean that you're making your old love new again. You're rekindling the fire, getting the jump leads out like you do when your car battery's flat. And you're putting the spark back into it and reigniting the passion and the flame. And it's wonderful. I love readings like this. There are some negatives, but once they've gone, and they will go, you'll overcome them. You'll sidestep them if you can. I believe that you're heading for a very, very passionate, solid, intense is a good word, love affair. A love filled with passion, and that feeling you get when you walk around in catching the bus or in a taxi or in the train, and this warm feeling gets inside you, and you know it's because you're in love. What do you think about that, number 4? You don't believe me? Wait and see. I think some of you already have it. I think it may be quite recent for some of you. I think you can expect to be blown away with true love, and I think the spirit world are planning a new lover for you. I'll repeat what I said earlier to number 3, I think it was. If a new lover is predicted for you, it will not be on social media. It will not be a dating site. It will be the spirit-guided lover that's entering your life soon. You could meet them down the village pub. You can meet them at the golf course. You can meet them at the gym. You can meet them at work. But you will not meet them at a dating site, on a dating site, or Facebook or Twitter, because that will not be the one the Spirit want you to meet. And if you meet that one and start a romance, you could spend years on the wrong track. I'll repeat, it won't apply to all of you, but to a lot of you, the new lover has been found by Spirit for you, and they will they will head you together like that, and you'll join together like that, and you will fall in love. And I'm sticking my neck out because this doesn't come up very often. So let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe, because every subscriber helps me keep doing these videos for you. So you can join our lovely family. And if you've already subscribed, thank you so much. It does help so much, and I love to hear your comments. And if you want a proper reading with me on the phone, number 4, you can get me on my website, davidcharlespsychic.com. I'll read for you on the telephone from anywhere in the world. That's davidcharlespsychic.com. If I'm not available, one of the team that work for me will help you, and I only employ the best. If they're not the best, they don't get in my team. So that's davidcharlespsychic.com, and you can email me there privately if you want to. So, give me a like if you like it. I'm going to give you some lucky numbers in a minute. Don't go away without them, because they could change your life. And they've been proven to be very effective. They're spirit-guided, magic, lucky numbers, and they're coming up. First of all, I want to see if the oracle cards agree with what I've told you. These have been shuffled. You have to read these. I can't translate them. You read what they tell you. Well, you can translate them, but but see if they agree with what I've been picking up. This is an air card, and I think you're flying above the clouds there. What about that? Can you make that one out? This one says, keep an open mind and heart A blessing in disguise will arrive any day. What about that? That is backing up what I've been telling you. And I have no idea what's coming up with these cards. So what do you think about that, number 4? Keep an open mind. Let me know below. Keep an open mind. A blessing in disguise will arrive any day. So when you see it, it will be in disguise. You may not realise what it is. You may think, oh, don't fancy that. But it's a blessing in disguise. Some of you out there will know exactly what I mean. If you're here in the UK, in beautiful North Devon, if you're in Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, some of you will know what this means. A blessing in disguise will appear any day. Keep an open heart and mind. Let's try this one. Another earth. No, this is an earth card. I beg your pardon. That was an air card, wasn't it? Yeah, it was an air card. Pretty obvious. This one is a leaf. Looks like droplets of water. Good photography, these cards. This one says to you, number 4, trust your inner strength and reap the benefits. Trust your inner strength. This tells me about this nasty person that's around. You've got the strength to deal with that. I said you had. You have the strength to deal with anything, especially to do with love, because this is a love reading. It's called Spirit Love Messages for You, or Love Messages from Spirit for You. These are messages from your spirit guides. They wanted you to find this reading now. It could be today, it could be 10 years from today. And that means there's a message in here for you somewhere, number 4. In fact, there's several. So this one says again, trust your inner strength and reap the benefits. So if you don't feel you've got the strength, then you're wrong. You have more strength than you believe, than you think you have. And that's what the spirits are trying to say. Trust yourself. You've got the strength, you've got the ability. Let's try this one, another air card, by the looks of it. Pink clouds. Ever seen pink clouds? Or is that another Photoshop? Whatever it is, it's lovely. This one is important. This one says, every thought leaves an echo. Can't read now. Keep yours positive only from now on. It's agreeing with what I said about removing negatives. Each thought leaves an echo. Whatever you send out to the universe echoes back. That's karma. It comes back threefold. Keep yours positive only from now on. So keep your thoughts positive. Remember you've got strength. Be positive. Keep an open mind because something's coming special. A blessing in disguise. Every thought leaves an echo. Keep yours positive only from now on. Not just for a week or two, from now on. Keep your thoughts positive. Easy for me to say, not easy for you to do, but try. You're stronger than you think. One more oracle card, and then your lucky numbers. Don't go without them. This is an earth card. A tunnel of trees, like something out of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or something. Could be. A fairy glen, maybe. The solution to your problem is forgiveness. Allow it to happen. Are you angry with someone, or is it yourself you need to forgive, number 4? The solution to your problem is forgiveness. Allow it to happen. Once again, easy to say, not easy to do if somebody's upset you or wound you up. But often this card will mean that you need to forgive yourself. You're holding yourself responsible for something that you didn't do, or you didn't do on purpose. And you can feel guilt sometimes. And the worst psychological thing, if you listen or read Sigmund Freud, the most damaging psychological thought is guilt. It does more harm than any of the other emotions. You don't need it. So, the solution to your problem is forgiveness. If it's you, forgive yourself. Allow it to happen. A very interesting reading, number 4. I'm glad you stuck with me, but don't go yet, because we've got the lucky numbers. And these numbers could change your life. You could hit the jackpot. And they may be familiar. They may be wedding dates, anniversaries, births, addresses you lived at, car number plates. They may mean nothing at all, but they are important. These numbers were chosen by me with my spirit guides before I started filming today, this evening, in beautiful North Devon in England. Here's your numbers now. There's 6 of them. You don't need to use all 6, just use a couple. Use them at the casino. Use all 6 for the lottery, but you don't have to use them all. And they are, you might get a pen, I don't know. Number 4, think I can read this. 14, 29, 32, 40 and 49. Do they ring any bells? Are they your birthday, your family birthday, wedding days, divorce days? I'll give them you one more time. Number 4, 14, 29, 32, 40 and 49. These numbers could help you hit the jackpot. I'll repeat what I keep saying. You must gamble responsibly if you're gambling. Do not get yourself stuck in gambling. You won't need to anyway. You could win straight away. But please be responsible. You'll get both of us into trouble. So number 4, a fascinating reading. I think true love is going to hit you like what can I call it? A whirling dervish. You're going to get banged into true love soon if you're not already in it. Let me know. Please comment below. If you want a psychic reading with me, go to davidcharlespsychic.com. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. Join our lovely family. I love all of my subscribers. And thank you so much if you've already done it. Click the like button. Share me with your friends. All the usual stuff. Click the bell icon if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. And new lucky numbers. With every new video, there'll be lucky numbers. And they could change your life for the better, for a change. I don't suppose you've had it good lately. I don't think you have. It's been a tough time for a lot of people. Thank you so much for watching number 4 here in beautiful Devon. My name's David Charles, international psychic medium. Remember, think lucky and you will be lucky. Think love and you will be loved. And I love every one of you. Catch you later. Bye-bye.